Digital leader is the first one in Google, I guess. Now they recently created after it was created after the ACE exam because ACE was a bit hard for a lot of people to crack as the first course. So this was like first introductory one. You will have learning paths here, start preparing. Okay, here it is. Last updated over here, 4 activities. So yeah, that's the one as a developer we need to look into more. Um, so let's see, start learning path. Digital leader is the very first one. Um, yeah, sweet. So we have digital leader one, and let's start with the digital leader. This is like the first one, the most basic one to take. So I will just send you guys the link for this. This is the one you should like do starting. This is the very first certificate in Google you should take. Um, so yeah, so we are going to cover the whole digital leader one. This is like a very good introductory one to get, and once you get this, this is like a good way to get inside the have your foot inside the door while applying for jobs in this like right now because job market is so hot, not hot, sorry, like so cold. So it's this is a good one to like start getting into, and I will be like going over every single thing and even like have my notes which will be available through my blog, right? So you can go through every single thing and feel free to ask any questions. I can answer in Hindi or English, whichever you like. For other languages, I'm not the best, but I can try my best for sure. So yeah, let's start with our Google Digital Leader one. Here is the certification link. I'll just post that as well. Um, so let's just save this one, put this one off. Digital Leader, start preparing. It's going to be fun. Cloud Digital Leader Learning Path. A cloud digital leader can articulate the capabilities of core cloud products and services and understand how they benefit organizations. There is no cost learning. This is a no cost learning path. So basically, you don't have to give buy any credits or anything. So free of charge. So that's awesome. To your no cost learning path guides you through a curated collection of on demand courses and labs and skill batches. So the skill batch is like imagine you earn a certificate and you get a link in not only like a paper but a link to that certificate and you can post on your LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever to show people. And this is good because recruiters are looking for such things that provide you with real world hands on experience with Google Cloud technologies essential to Google Cloud Digital Leader role. Once you complete the part, check out the Google Cloud Digital Leader certification to take the step and the next steps for your on your professional journey. These there will be 4 modules: digital transformation with Google Cloud. This is introductory, innovation with data in Google Cloud. So I think they will talk about data centers and stuff. Infrastructure and application modernization with Google Cloud. Basically, I think it will be APIs and stuff. Understand Google Cloud security and operations. So this is like very similar to what you see in Azure AZ900. I have done AZ900 and I have worked with AWS, so I have basic knowledge, so I can even share those tips and tricks with you. But if you do any one of these, other two are very easy to complete. It's just changes in the name.
Some people imagine that the technical capacity to understand the use of the cloud is all you need in order to.
So this is the very first video. So let me just Make it bigger. Palak, can you hear it?
Some people imagine that the technical capacity to understand the use of the cloud is all you need in order to transform a business. And I think this would be a big mistake. Hello, my name is Vince Cerf. I'm Vice President and Chief Internet Evangelist at Google. My primary job is to make sure there's more internet out there for everyone, but my big interest is making sure the cloud is useful as well. I think if you're concerned about being ready for cloud, you need to understand what its capabilities are, what it can deliver. You don't necessarily have to understand in great detail how it does it, but you have capacity to understand the use of the cloud is all you need in order to transform a business. And I think this would be a big mistake. Hello, my name is Vince Cerf. I'm Vice President and Chief Internet Evangelist at Google. My primary job is to make sure there's more internet out there for everyone, but my big interest is making sure the cloud is useful as well. I think if you're
Thank
concerned
you.
about being ready for cloud, you need to understand what its capabilities are, what it can deliver. You don't necessarily have to understand in great detail how it does it, but you have to appreciate what it can do and how much flexibility it offers in terms of new products and services or transforming ways in which old businesses operate. Without that insight, without that understanding, it's very hard to steer yourself into an advantageous place in the cloud world.
Sorry, I'm just stopping this just to point out the really good thing he said is you don't have to know all the details. When coming out of the university, that was my biggest, um, how to say, biggest limitation of my brain and my ideology and or methodology, however you say. Like my brain was, or my attitude was, oh, I have to learn everything to make sure to make things work. But what happened was with time, when you start going into enterprise, you don't really have to know how things work. You just have to know to get your stuff done, basically, because that's what team is. You don't have to be an expert in everything. Have a general knowledge, but not like an in-depth knowledge of everything, because AI and other team members will take care of it. You just be the best at your one and just have a general knowledge of how things work. Like for example, if you are in front end, you don't have to know how backend work or how cloud work. Just have to know, okay, API, this is the API, this is the information I will be getting and I will be throwing. And if I don't get that, this might be the issue, or this is what I'm doing wrong, or stuff like that. Just have general, don't try to go in depth, especially no matter wherever you are. If you're building stuff, don't have to go in detail of everything, just your stuff.
If you think a little bit about the scale of the cloud, you'll appreciate that most companies and certainly most individuals would not be capable of investing in and maintaining the computing capacity and data storage capacity of today's clouds. That transformation means that companies have access to facilities they otherwise could not get access to. Failure to at least attend to new technology could be a fatal risk. And that's why we think everyone should be at least aware of what the new technologies are and whether or not they fit into the corporate structure. Let's talk a little bit about leadership. I think most leaders don't need to know in detail how the internet works, but they have to have a kind of fundamental appreciation for what it means to get access to cloud-based technology through the internet. Think of the internet and the cloud as an enabling infrastructure that can be purposed in infinite different ways. So it's important that the leaders at least have a conceptual grasp of what these technologies can do for their companies, their products, and services. This is not just about technology, it's about how technology is used, and that requires real vision.
One last thing I will point, and this is like just mark this for your rest of your life, and this is something I learned from one of the best leaders when I was working in sales as a door-to-door person. Knowledge is not power. We have always been told like knowledge is power. Knowledge is not power. It's the application of knowledge that's the real power. And that's what it is. You don't have to know every technology and stuff like that. You just have to know, okay, how to apply that technology. Remember that application of knowledge. If you are not able to apply things in your life, it's like knowledge you have. It's like basically like it's like, oh, I have a car, but or like there is plane and stuff. But if I'm going from Canada to India, walk and swim. That's like, okay, I know how to swim and walk, but that's stupid to like instead not use like a plane, stuff like that. Remember that, and yeah, so that's it. Like Google Cloud with this digital leader, you will know all the services out there, and so you can just pick whichever you like. For example, you can pick security, machine learning, developer, whatever. So let's go to the next one, course
There's a lot of
introduction.
excitement about cloud technology in There's a lot of excitement about cloud technology in digital transformation, but you might also have many unanswered questions. For example, what is cloud technology? What does digital transformation mean? How does cloud technology help you or your organization? Where do you even begin? If you've asked yourself any of these questions, you're in the right place. At Google Cloud, we want to provide you with the necessary information and tools for success as you begin your journey to the cloud and digital transformation. This course, Digital Transformation with Google Cloud, was designed to help you understand why and how the cloud revolutionizes businesses, explain general cloud concepts, and identify the benefits and trade-offs of using IaaS, or Infrastructure as a Service, PaaS, or Platform as a Service, and SaaS, or Software as a Service. You'll begin by defining some important terms that you'll hear throughout the course, and by describing the benefits of adopting cloud technology to digitally transform a business. Next, you'll explore some fundamental cloud concepts. You'll learn how migrating to the cloud affects your organization's flexibility, agility, reliability, and total cost of ownership. You'll also explore the different types of infrastructure and explore various use cases for them. And finally, you'll learn about cloud computing models and the shared responsibility between an organization and its cloud provider in hardware, software, and security. Throughout the course, you'll be presented with graded knowledge assessments. You must pass these assessments to receive course credit. Okay, let's get started.
So going to next activity
To
now.
understand how
Basically, we'll be learning in this digital leader the basic stuff of cloud. In cloud, you can like literally have the server, or you can have other stuff. Not instead of just cloud, which is how to say. You have cloud, you have like a virtual machine, and you can start building from scratch. Or like let's say you on your Linux server you want to have a Postgres. So instead of getting a virtual machine and then installing Postgres SQL server and putting data, you can just get a um, so virtual machine is infrastructure. This is platform as a service where you get that whole database. You have to worry about the Linux machine, its storage and stuff, just the Postgres SQL server. Or you can have like even software as a service where you are using Gmail. So Gmail in the back end, you don't know what it is using, Postgres SQL server, Linux machine, whatever. You are using the software. So there are three types of levels and things like that we are going to learn as the digital cloud leader certificate.
understand how the cloud is transforming businesses, it's important to learn about the basics of cloud and cloud technology. In this section of the course, you'll explore key terms related to the cloud and digital transformation, the benefits of cloud technology with regard to an organization's digital transformation, the differences between on-premises infrastructure, public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, and multi-cloud, and the drivers and challenges that lead organizations to undergo a digital transformation. Let's get started.
I think, right, like we are talking about key cloud transformation and stuff. The best reason why people undergo digital transformation, as we all see, was 2020. Um, for example, shop vendors who were selling like, how to say, stuff like vegetables and stuff. The only way they could do it is through, like, nobody's coming to them now. So they could do is like set up a online shop, sell through there. Same with different, like you see Instagram stuff. Like there was this meme in India which was looking very beautiful, very elegant, wow, just like a wow, stuff like that. Those they went online to market. They were like no ads or like banners were working, so they went to Instagram. So digital transformation is not just like okay, moving your website or your business online, but like marketing, stuff like that, anything that's like digital transformation. So just keep in mind, right? Like digital transformation does not necessarily mean using cloud, using digital stuff. Here we are just talking about Google Cloud.
Innovation
Go back. Innovation, paradigm shifts, and digital transformation.
Innovation doesn't come in a linear pattern. It comes in waves. And each of these waves is powered by a breakthrough technology. There was the age of the printing press, the steam engine, electricity, the transportation age, the first computers, and today, data and cloud infrastructure. Each of these inventions triggered thousands of innovations, changing what's possible in life and work. Consider the innovation of the printing press. It was revolutionary because it gave everyone access to books, encyclopedias, and even playing cards in their daily lives. It also led to a broader recognition of intellectual property through widely distributed patents, which in turn prepared the world for the first industrial revolution. There was no turning back. Steam-powered engines brought us cars and trains, which then radically transformed the transportation industry, allowing businesses to produce and transport goods at scale. The entire Industrial Revolution resulted from new technologies that came together and facilitated new ways of working. In the same way, electricity brought us the light bulb, household appliances, and eventually the computer. What the printing press, the steam engine, and electricity all have in common is that they're examples of a paradigm shift, a fundamental and irreversible change in the way that humans work and engage with the world. How do these examples relate to cloud technology? Well, we're right in the middle of another paradigm shift, one of digital transformation. Cloud technology is transforming how organizations create value, how people work, and ultimately, how people live. It's the catalyst for thousands of innovations that change how we navigate the world, how we interact with media, how we diagnose illness, or how we combat environmental issues.
Let's watch this one. I'll have examples for
It's the
everything.
catalyst for thousands of innovations that change how we navigate the world.
Google Maps, how we navigate, how we go from one place to another, flights, like looking at the data easily. Even like another good one will be like sonar, right? Like able to see at sea, in the sea.
How we interact
With media, Instagram example we did.
with media, how we diagnose illness,
How we diagnose illness, Apple Watch, like it takes my heartbeats, send it to cloud, analyze data. If there is any issue, I will get a notification, right, regarding my health data.
or how we combat
Environmental issues, how we combat. If there is any good technology put in this world, right, like it's open source, like, for example, engine design, which is much more beneficial and more environment friendly, open source it through digital forms, and other people can use it, so better environment and stuff like that.
issues. Digital transformation, as a term, has become prominent over the past few years. But what are the key components of a digital transformation? How do they relate to the use of cloud technologies? And why do so many organizations pursue it? At Google Cloud, we define digital transformation as when an organization uses new digital technologies, such as public, private, and hybrid cloud platforms, to create or modify business processes, culture, and customer experiences to meet the needs of changing business and market dynamics. Organizations choose the needs of change.
So basically, like during COVID, we start websites was in demand, e-commerce, marketing through Instagram, Twitter, and all those stuff. Culture was like basically, Zoom and WebEx, like that changed the whole culture. And Zoom and WebEx are also kind of cloud technologies, where everything is going to cloud. Your video is going to cloud. Other people video, there's like a YouTube stream going on, or like Twitch.
Changing business and market dynamics. Organizations choose digital transformation frameworks to foster innovation, generate new revenue streams, and adapt quickly to market changes and customer needs. Digital transformation helps organizations change how they operate and redefine relationships with their customers, employees, and partners by modernizing their applications, creating new services, and delivering value. For that reason, rapid advances in digital technology are redefining every industry. Many vehicles are now software driven, and they receive regular updates, much like a laptop or phone. In chemistry, big data and artificial intelligence, or AI, facilitates drug discovery. Financial service institutions use cloud's vast computing power to provide better insights than ever.
Interesting one about like cloud with machine learning. There's something called anomaly detection, which is like, let's say if you're using credit card and your card is stolen, it will look, or like let's say your card, like you are in Canada, the next purchase is in India, Pakistan, anywhere else. It will alert through machine learning, like, hey, this guy never bought anything. Let's alert that, or stuff like that. This guy doesn't travel much, and things like that. In seconds of that transaction, that alert happens, and it gets you. If you are, you can just approve it or not. So stuff like that is very, very interesting. How many places you use these things.
Before. With smart analytics that are increasingly embedded in everything and devices that generate exponential amounts of data, traditional on-premises computing solutions can no longer suffice. As business innovation becomes more driven by software, the IDC Futurescape report predicts that over 50% of all IT spending will go toward digital transformation and innovation by 2024. In fact, IDC also predicts that by 2025, more than 90% of new enterprise apps will have AI embedded within them. Leading organizations will rely more heavily on AI to launch new business models, create more customized experiences, and optimize operations to reduce costs. Understanding the scale and power of the cloud is more critical than ever before.
Okay, let's move to the
What
next
is
one.
the cloud and cloud technology exactly? And how does it support digital transformation? The cloud is a metaphor for the network of data centers which store and compute information that's available through the internet. Essentially,
In other words of this language, what is cloud? Cloud is basically somebody else's computer we are using, and that computer has a lot more resources than ours. So let's say my MacBook is pretty shitty. No other word to say. It's so old. It's like have issues. So I can just spin off something in cloud, use some commands, and like hardly my MacBook takes any load, and that server will take all the load.
the cloud is a metaphor for the network of data centers which store and compute information that's available through the internet. Essentially, instead of describing a complex web of software, servers, computers, networks, and security systems, all of that has been combined into one word: cloud. To better understand the cloud, it might help to explore the different ways organizations can implement their information technology, or IT, infrastructure. The list includes on-premises, private cloud, public cloud, hybrid cloud, and multi-cloud implementation.
On premise, we have already seen that's like the old one. Everybody was using on premise when they had their own servers and stuff like that. Private cloud is basically the one we were trying to play with. It's like our private cloud. We are No, sorry, private cloud is basically, let's say Apple have so much of its data center and stuff, but they don't have data center in every single office, so they will have a major headquarters where there will be a full data center, and other people from, let's say, if their data headquarters is in India, in US, people working in India can access. So just private, all those, and through VPN and stuff, they can access it. The Apple employees in India can access infrastructure of Apple in US. That's the private cloud. Nobody else it's available. Public cloud is what we are working on right now. Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Services, Google. Those are public cloud. So public like me can just create an instance there, create account and pay and use that. That's public. Hybrid account cloud is basically a mixture of public and private. Let's say Google, or let's say, for example, let's say you had so much of Microsoft stuff already on your on-premise, and now you want to move to cloud. You can have a hybrid approach where you can use all your usernames which were already in Microsoft, just connect with Microsoft Azure. So it's like, um, certain services are running in Microsoft Azure, which is a public, and certain services are using on-premise because you have license of those Microsoft services. So using public plus your on-premise as a, it's called hybrid. Multi-cloud is, let's say, Netflix, right?
Multi-cloud.
Netflix is using two different public clouds. Yeah, those are the things I wanted. So there are five. Most of the time, you will only see private, public, and hybrid, or on-premise.
On-premises IT infrastructure, which is often abbreviated to on-prem, refers to hardware and software applications that are hosted on-site, located and operated within an organization's data center to serve their unique needs. This implementation is the traditional way of managing IT infrastructure. The benefit of on-premises is that it doesn't require third-party access, which gives owners physical control over the server hardware and software and doesn't require them to pay for ongoing access. However, to have the computing power to run their required workloads, organizations must buy physical servers and other infrastructure through procurement processes that can take months.
What it means is, like, let's say if I want to start my own company with on-prem cloud, I need to buy CPU, I want to buy storage, I have to buy AC and proper set up a whole system with networking, routers to have my own prem, and that takes time. I have to buy all my own hardware.
These systems require physical space, typically a specialized room with sufficient power and cooling. After configuring and deploying the systems, businesses then need expert personnel to manage them. This long process is difficult to scale when demand spikes or business expands. Organizations often acquire more computing resources than they actually need, which results in low utilization and high overhead.
So what it means is it requires a proper space, right? To have those servers, personalized room, they specialize in because it needs proper good internet, super good internet basically. AC, it should be cool because it generates a lot of heat when running. It requires expert personnel because then you need proper security people, proper networking people who are managing all these data structures and stuff. Difficult to scale because, let's say if I want to, I have a data center for 1,000 people. Now the spike, there is my app recently started getting so much attention from 1,000 and went to 20,000. To serve that, I need more stuff, more servers and stuff, but it takes time to have a new room, specialized room with all the AC, and then put all the servers, and that takes months, right, to have it done properly. So, and even just for those spikes, like 20,000, I already anticipated it will reach 20,000. So years before I bought it, or I don't know when it will spike. So in the starting only, I bought all those servers and stuff, but it I don't know when my app will get a hit. So till then, if 1,000 people are using and I have 20,000 people resources, that 19,000 people's resources, like the CPU that was for 20,000 only used by 1,000 people, so that 19,000, that's like waste. It's just CPU is there, database is there, but it's no use. So
Cloud
those are the
computing
issues.
addresses these issues by offering computing resources as scalable, on-demand services. A private cloud.
So on-prem, right, we currently have 1,000 people, we need 20,000. With just one click in cloud, we will have that. No need to wait for
Is
months.
a type of cloud computing where the infrastructure is dedicated to a single organization instead of the general public. This type is also known as single tenant or corporate cloud. Typically, an organization has to perform the same kind of ongoing maintenance and management for a private cloud as it would for traditional on-premises infrastructure. A private cloud is hosted within an organization's own private servers, either at an organization's own data center, at a third-party co-location facility, or by using a private cloud provider. Private cloud computing gives businesses many of the benefits of a public cloud, including self-service, scalability, and elasticity, with more customization available from dedicated on-premises infrastructure. Organizations might use private cloud if they have already made significant investments in their own infrastructure, or if, for regulatory reasons, data must be kept on-premises.
Private clouds are important, let's say for hospitals or military. They want private cloud. They don't want to use, like, they use, but they don't want to use for everything like a Google or Amazon, just in case those get hacked. They want a private, so, or like health one, because in US we have HIPAA laws and stuff, which require us to have certain guidelines. So if for those reasons we need to have a very extra layer of security. So we want to create a separate own cloud.
Or hosted in a certain way. The public cloud is where on-demand computing services and infrastructure are managed by a third-party provider, such as Google Cloud, and shared with multiple organizations or tenants through the public internet. This sharing is why public cloud is known as multi-tenant cloud infrastructure, but each tenant's data and applications running in the cloud are hidden from other tenants. You can think
Example is, let's say you are using Gmail. That's on public, like anybody can make an account and you are using storage and stuff, right? Your Gmail is hidden from my Gmail account, from your parents' Gmail account and stuff like that. So that's multi-tenant. Multiple people can use the same infrastructure, but things
applications
are
running
hidden.
in the cloud are hidden from other tenants. You can think of it like an apartment building that's maintained by a property management company. The building has many units and tenants. Each unit might have a slightly different layout, but still has all the amenities a tenant needs to live there. And each unit is locked and private to the tenant who pays for that space. In these lessons, when we refer to cloud, unless otherwise stated, we're talking about the public cloud. Because public cloud has an on-demand availability of computing and infrastructure resources, organizations don't need to acquire, configure, or manage those resources themselves, and they only pay for what they use. There are typically 3 types of cloud computing service models available in public cloud. The first is infrastructure as a service, IaaS, which offers compute and storage services.
Compute and storage means basically just like you have your own, you build your own laptop or you buy the whole physical thing. That's infrastructure. You're buying a computer, you are asking for CPU, you're asking for SSD, RAM, stuff like that. That's like core infrastructure that comes in IaaS. So anything like, yeah, like which is very core computing thing. Data, data storage, CPU, GPU, stuff like that.
The second is platform as a service, PaaS, which offers a develop and deploy environment to build cloud apps.
Platform, again, layer above, so you don't have to, IaaS, you have to worry about Linux, CPU, GPU, which version of things you are using. Platform as a service is basically like PostgreSQL server, so you don't have to worry about the below stuff of it, like what's in the, you don't have to worry about, how to say it, you don't have to worry about like, okay, PostgreSQL, how much CPU or GPU it's using. You don't have to worry. You just you care about, I need Postgres database from Google Cloud. So that's platform as a service. I guess I'm just too tired, getting too tired right now. Let me increase my, so I can just, when I'm talking, it's easier. Yeah, so this is good.
PaaS, which offers a develop and deploy environment to build cloud apps. And the third is software as a service, SaaS, which delivers apps as services where users get access to software on a subscription basis.
Subscription basis, your Gmail. You right now it's free, but let's say, or like Google Drive, you can, there is certain which is, excuse me, free, but like then you pay certain amount of dollars to have that extra database. You don't worry about in your Google Drive when you start paying, you don't worry about it if it is using MySQL, NoSQL, Postgres, whatever it is using, you don't care. That's like another layer you don't care about. So that's software as a service. Majority of the companies, like even Google Maps, that's a software as a service because you are just using directly the software. Down there, whatever it's using, how much machine learning, you don't care, right? That's it.
We'll explore these three models in detail later.
Example of each. Let me think. So let's say, for example, in case of platform as a service, right? You are looking like, hey, I don't want to buy a new computer because I just need, for 5 minutes, I just need a server, a web server. I want to create a web server on Linux. So you buy a virtual machine with Linux and you have SSD with certain GPU. That's infrastructure as a service. You are buying the infrastructure, the core hardware, right? When you are talking about core hardware, is basically core hardware stuff. But let's say when you are looking for platform as a service, these are the services you need um, to develop an app, right? These are the services you need to develop an app, uh, but don't want to maintain hardware. For example, you are building software or YouTube, like software like uh, Google Drive or YouTube, right? For example, you're developing these things. You don't want to. You have like now two choices, right? Like when you are developing an application like YouTube or Google Drive, you have two choices. Either you can like take a Linux machine, install Postgres server on it, make sure it is maintained, make sure it is updated. Either you can do that, or you can use platform. Then that's infrastructure when you're buying the Linux machine and stuff. But with platform as a service, you don't want to. You don't have to take care of the Linux machine if it is patched. You just care about the Postgres server. You need just care about the database you need. That's when you need platform as a service. So when you want to have physical stuff, your physical routers, you want to have your own stuff set up, that's infrastructure as a service. When you don't even want to set up, like when you want to take care of those stuff, right, you buy this, right? Like, but when you don't want to care about, yeah, those things, you buy platform as a service where you are only maintaining operating system. You don't care about the hardware, you maintain the operating system and stuff and database. That's platform as a service. When you literally want the application, that's Google Drive and like stuff. That's SaaS. I'll try.
The final two ways that organizations can implement IT infrastructure is hybrid cloud or multi-cloud. Although they're not the same, these two terms are often used interchangeably, so let's take a moment to define them. In a hybrid cloud, applications run in a combination of different environments. The most common hybrid cloud example is combining a public and private cloud environment, like an on-premises data center, and a public cloud computing environment, like Google Cloud. The term multi-cloud describes architectures that combine at least two public cloud providers. Organizations might operate a combination of on-premises and multiple public cloud environments, therefore implementing both hybrid and multi-cloud simultaneously. So, although hybrid cloud and multi-cloud are related, they aren't interchangeable terms. Today, most organizations embrace a multi-cloud strategy. According to the Flexera 2022 State of the Cloud report, 89% of respondents reported having a multi-cloud strategy, and 80% of them take a hybrid approach by combining public and private cloud.
Let's see what's next. Benefits of cloud computing and then real world. Let's just do these two next. So many emails.
So, what are the benefits of cloud computing compared to traditional on-premises infrastructure? It's scalable. Cloud computing gives organizations access to scalable resources and the latest technologies on demand, so they don't need to worry about capital expenditures or limited fixed infrastructure. This can significantly accelerate infrastructure deployment time. It's flexible. Organizations and their users can access cloud services from anywhere with an internet connection, scaling services up or down as needed to meet business requirements. It's agile. Organizations can develop new applications and rapidly get them into production without worrying about the underlying infrastructure. It offers strategic value. Because cloud providers stay updated with the latest innovations and offer them as services to customers, organizations can get more competitive advantages and a higher return on investment than if they'd invested in soon-to-be obsolete technologies. This lets organizations innovate and try new ideas faster. It's secure. Cloud computing security is recognized as stronger than that in enterprise data centers because of the depth and breadth of the security mechanisms and dedicated teams that cloud providers implement. Finally, it's cost-effective. No matter which cloud computing service model organizations implement, they only pay for the computing resources they use. They don't need to overbuild data center capacity to handle sudden spikes in demand.
What that means with the which model is like no matter if they're using IaaS, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, or software as a service, will always cost less compared to an on-prem one.
Or business growth, and they can deploy IT staff to work on more strategic initiatives. As the world and business change, keeping technology the same instead of being open to transforming is risky for an organization. Let's illustrate this by looking at two examples. One embraces new technology and uses it to their advantage, and the other doesn't. First up is Nintendo. Nintendo has been creating games since 1889. They started with traditional Japanese playing cards, called Hanafuda, which were made possible by the printing press. From there, they have consistently used new technology to transform their business and become a leader in the gaming industry. They were even among the first to introduce gaming consoles and mobile gaming devices. Still, they didn't just stop after these successes. Instead, they revolutionized mobile gaming when they launched Pokemon Go in 2016, and then the first cloud gaming console, Nintendo Switch, 1 year later in 2017. At a time when most of their competitors were failing, Nintendo transformed by using one new technology after the next, consistently maintaining and even expanding its market share and customer base along the way. More recently, Nintendo has been using Google Cloud to bring games to smartphones worldwide. So, what makes Nintendo so successful at transforming? The answer is that they consistently focus on why they exist, not how they operate. They exist because they want people to play, and naturally, they'll use any new technology as a resource to achieve this mission. If they focused on liquid crystal displays, or LCDs, as the best tool for gaming, then each new technology would have posed a threat to them. Instead, they used LCDs for a while, and then quickly shifted as the next technology became available to continue motivating people to play. By contrast, companies that sold encyclopedias, for example, all focused on how they operate, how to print and sell a specific set of books. And this was what they were proud of, a beautiful set of leather-bound books lined up on the shelves of the finest libraries. And because of their high cost, only a few scholars or the elite could afford them. For businesses that made and sold encyclopedias, they needed printing presses, well-kept warehouses, bookshelf makers, a way to ship and receive heavy containers, and a good door-to-door sales model. These companies were so focused on manufacturing books that they lost sight of their initial mission: to capture, catalogue, and share human knowledge. When new technology, such as CD-ROMs, became available, this short-term mindset led many of the original encyclopedia companies to view the technology as a threat to their business instead of an opportunity. Ironically, many of the CD-ROM-based encyclopedia providers made the exact same mistake and were later overtaken by cloud-based applications such as Wikipedia, or traditional encyclopedia companies such as Britannica, which moved online. Nintendo and encyclopedia companies were both born from the printing era. Nintendo began with traditional playing cards, and encyclopedias stemmed from hard copy books. Because they reacted to technological innovations differently, they experienced different outcomes. The reality is that digital transformation is an ongoing process, not a one-time effort. Today, countless industries around the world are disrupted by digitalization, from healthcare to entertainment, from retail to manufacturing. It's critical that organizations embrace new technology as an opportunity to evolve, serve their customers better, and gain a competitive advantage. This is where cloud computing plays a significant role.
Sweet. Yeah, so how cloud changes, and like cloud is basically another era of technology we are in. And
To understand the cloud computing landscape today,
is it audible this time? Hopefully, yeah, that's much clearer.
and what true digital transformation looks like, we should first understand how we got here. It started with the VM cloud era. VM stands for virtual machine. New organizations, mostly startups, realized that they could forego ever buying or operating hardware and just start in the cloud. This was a major catalyst for many of the great cloud-native companies that we all rely on today, such as Twitter, Spotify, and PayPal. By the end of this first VM cloud era, very few startups operated their own data centers. Next was the infrastructure cloud era, which is when organizations migrated their IT infrastructure to the cloud. This migration saved costs because infrastructure could scale up and down more quickly and easily. Faster development was possible because companies didn't need long-term infrastructure planning and security was better. Also, reducing the management load on IT staff let organizations direct more people and resources to focus on building new capabilities. In this last decade of the infrastructure cloud, companies that ignored this migration were left trailing behind. Although the return on investment of these early cloud migrations was important, it didn't provide compelling transformative or disruptive results or fundamentally change how people worked outside of IT. This is because digital transformation is more than simply migrating and shifting systems to the cloud for cost saving and convenience. As we look ahead, reinventing the future means changing not only where business is done, but how it is done. It requires maximizing the benefits of the cloud and building an environment that enables every person, process, and technology to bring the highest level of innovation to the business. This is what brings us to the transformation cloud era, where organizations are not just making infrastructure decisions, but are truly focusing on transforming. Digitalization is now fundamental, and this era is about spreading transformation among all teams in an organization. To facilitate this degree of constant innovation and progress, today's most ambitious organizations are building transformation clouds. A transformation cloud is a new approach to digital transformation. It provides an environment for app and infrastructure modernization, data democratization, people connections, and trusted transactions. It's built on an easy-to-use
democratization, that's like um, in starting you won't realize how important that is. Let me try to see if I can explain in simple words. So, because data for businesses, that might mean like just how it. So this is like basically like what Wikipedia did, right? Like um, trying to provide free education, like encyclopedia stuff to everyone. But in this one, it's much more like without just like that. It was like no matter who you are, just if you have internet, you can connect to Wikipedia, you will have data. Similar thing for organization, but not just organization in terms of like open source, everybody will have a good look at the data, and it's like not tampered with easily. Because if you go on Wikipedia, if I have just a little bit of reputation on Wikipedia because I've done some good edits, I can make a bad edit, just talk about something like, oh, this guy died, and that would like turn the whole stock market upside down, stuff like that. That won't happen. That's like easiest terms I could use. See, and this like with the most important part why this data is useful when it comes to organization or even like open source or just to you, because the data is good, because it's like a proof type process. It can help you with the insights whenever you're making decision. Like for example, next decision could be hey, which cloud to learn, right? Out of AWS, Azure, or GCP. Data you can look at is like what is in the job market hot right now and what will be hot in the future. And based on data democratization and like having good amount of data and looking at those insights, you can make a decision like, okay, this cloud to pick. So like you can pick GCP or Azure. Those are like growing ones. Amazon is pretty big already, but you won't pick Oracle unless and until you really like Oracle as a company or you have like a requirement. Nobody will pick Oracle, no matter how many ads they will have, because data says it's not growing, right? Stuff like that.
Connections, and trusted transactions. It's built on an easy-to-use platform with customized industry solutions that gives organizations the confidence that they're saving money and creating a more sustainable future for everyone. The result is an organization that benefits from cloud computing to drive innovation, generate new revenue streams, and adapt quickly to market changes and customer needs.
So example of that would be like with the new adapting changes like Chat GPT, because of cloud and API, we can integrate
A
Chat
major
GPT.
indicator for organizations that are accelerating their innovation is how they think about transformation. Instead of asking infrastructure questions about where their apps and services should run, they ask transformation questions about how to build an environment that helps every person, process, and technology to adapt to changing business needs.
That's also an interesting one. Changing in questions shows changing in the culture and mindset. A bunch of organization fails just because the culture and the questions they ask is really bad. Like for example, Apple is the best company right now. Why? Because if you have a meeting with Tim Cook, their CEO, before their meeting, their secretary will ask you bunch of questions and just to see if you have the answers or not. And if you don't, that meeting gets rescheduled. If you do, and why the secretary? Because the secretary knows, okay, these questions are what Tim Cook is going to ask. Asking good questions, because like right now we live in a digital world, right? We are like a global village, and just other than like certain areas like healthcare and personal identification information, a lot of other things, it doesn't matter where they are stored in the world, as long as people have access to them. For example, let's say Pakistan, right? Pakistan won't allow their people's PII information to be stored in India, Um, but yeah, like so they will try to find some other data center like Singapore or Sri Lanka or whatever. But when it comes to like accessing services like Facebook and other stuff, which is like Wikipedia, they are literally connecting to a server in India, 100%, because that's the best way to reach. So how the question of like not able to question like the company like Wikipedia organization can ask is how we can provide the best access to people in Pakistan. We have to put something in India or like best way to serve them.
So, what are the types of problems and questions that make organizations undergo a digital transformation? At Google, when we talk to our customers about their biggest business challenges and what they need to accelerate digital transformation, we consistently hear 5 themes. First, they want to be the best at understanding and using data. Today, organizations must unify data across streams, lakes, warehouses, and databases so that they can quickly and easily break down data silos, generate real-time insights, and make better business decisions, thus reducing cost and inefficiencies. Second, they want the best technology infrastructure. Organizations are looking for a cloud platform that will serve as their foundation for growth and has the flexibility to innovate securely and adapt quickly based on market needs. Third, they want to create the best hybrid workplace. The fundamental shift in how and where we work requires new, stronger connections and collaboration, and many interactions that took place in person have been digitized. This change requires more intentional connections and collaboration. Fourth, it's critical for organizations to know that their data, systems, and users are secure. The digital world is seeing more severe security issues, so now companies are rethinking their security posture. They must find ways to identify and protect everything from people and customers to data and transactions in a fast-changing environment.
And let's go back. Hybrid workspace, why it's important. Um, a lot of good talented people, they don't want to spend time in traffic going to come big cities like Vancouver, Chicago, New York, Delhi, Mumbai, because like if you have 8 hours of job shift, 2 hours extra is put just in traffic going back and forth. Because I know people from my place, they go to Gurgaon. It used to take them 1 hour, and you cannot buy property in Gurgaon easily or like near in the city because costs 10 times your income, stuff like that. So having a good cloud infrastructure as a startup or any organization and able to give the hybrid workspace flexibility will get the best talent. And you should build yourself as a developer ready to work in a hybrid workspace and still be very efficient, because that's how you will be able to work and like show that hey, even in hybrid I can work, or even in remote I can deliver stuff. They will have never any trouble, and you can always like work remotely.
This change requires more intentional connections and collaboration. Fourth, it's critical for organizations to know that their data, systems, and users are secure. The digital world is seeing more severe security issues, so now companies are rethinking their security posture. They must find ways to identify and protect everything from people and customers to data and transactions in a fast-changing environment.
Data and transactions are also very important, especially in the cloud. It's really good because not every organization, let's say I'm starting as an organization who manages crypto transactions. A good part of my delivery will be like a good anomaly detection or detecting that there is a fraud happening. Like, for example, if I have a crypto credit card and somebody else used mine, I want that organization, whoever taking care of it, to flag somebody else used it through this machine learning AI intelligence. As a startup, I cannot build a whole artificial intelligence system. So I'll use just Google Clouds or ChatGPT AI to do that for me. So those like advanced features, just because you have cloud, you have access to them for like couple dollars or like 100 rupees or something like that.
Finally, organizations are prioritizing sustainability as a critical board-level topic. They want to create a more sustainable future through products and services that minimize environmental impact.
Why this is important? Because sustainability, like companies like Exxon Motors, who are like basically petroleum based, they just want petrol, petrol, petrol. That's their profit. They don't like sustainability, but
These are the top drivers for digital transformation that we see, and the challenges that many organizations face as they navigate their journey.
let's go to the next one. Any questions till then? Any questions about any topic here?
And inefficiencies.
Any questions here? Best technology in infrastructure. Important to have good infrastructure because then it will last long and it's like can perform at the high peak. So we covered all of it. So,
There are 5 primary capabilities that form the basis of the transformation cloud.
oh,
They are data, open infrastructure,
okay, this is the next one. Okay.
There are 5 primary capabilities that form the basis of the transformation cloud. They are data, open infrastructure, collaboration, trust, and sustainable technology and solutions. Let's explore each, starting with the data. Data is the key to unlocking value from AI, making it critical for innovation and differentiation.
Important thing, data is actually the key for unlocking value of AI because AI is like imagine AI in terms of a machine. You put something in, it gives something out, right? So there is this saying, garbage in, garbage out, right? There's this one. This is very important for every thing when we are talking about like AI because if you don't have good data, if you don't have good labeled data, your unsupervised learning algorithms in AI will generate the worst results ever. And I think that's what the issue is. Even if you ask ChatGPT, this is an experiment you can do. Is like ask ChatGPT what they think about number of genders and stuff like that. And because it was taking data, if it takes data, a model like that, which takes not ChatGPT 3.5, but I think 4 does take stuff from internet. And if they're just taking stuff from internet, you know how things are right now. It will be just garbage, so it will produce garbage results. But if you go to a good one which takes labeled data, it will produce actually scientific results and stuff like that. So remember, data is important for any organization. Doesn't matter which you are, at which sector you are, just data.
Value from AI, making it critical for innovation and differentiation. But becoming a data-driven company can be difficult if datasets are siloed across operational and analytical data stores. According to the New Vantage Partners Data and AI Executive Survey 2022, only 26.5% of companies have succeeded in creating a data-driven organization to realize tangible and measurable value from their data. A data cloud is a unified solution to manage data across the entire data lifecycle, regardless of whether it sits in Google Cloud or in other clouds. It lets organizations identify and process data with great scale, speed, security, and reliability. Leading companies like Ford, Spotify, Wayfair, and UPS.
Spotify, the only reason Spotify is very, very famous, it's like so popular and it's doing so good because of their AI and like how they are able to recommend other people.
Use a data cloud to encourage data-driven transformation quickly, securely, and at scale, all with AI built in. Next up is the open infrastructure. Organizations choose to modernize their IT systems on Google's open infrastructure cloud because it gives them freedom to securely innovate and scale from on-premises to edge to cloud on an easy, transformative, and open platform.
Edge, edge technology or edge cloud. What does it mean? Is like you in your edge is also called fog, right? And why I mention that is because if you imagine cloud is like something up there. It's hard to see and stuff like that, but like you can see it, but it's like very up, hard to reach and stuff. So it's like there is distance, but fog is very near to you, especially in winters, right? You see, fog is the whole idea of fog is like data centers and these things are very near to you. Your big technology, like your PS5, that's kind of a fog technology, edge technology, is near to you. So you are able to have more control over it. And it's near, so it like provides things like better connectivity, less latency and stuff like that.
Google's open infrastructure cloud because it gives them freedom to securely innovate and scale from on-premises to edge to cloud on an easy, transformative, and open platform. Open Infrastructure Cloud brings Google Cloud services to different physical locations while leaving the operation, governance, and evolution of the services to Google Cloud. Instead of relying on a single service provider or closed technology stack, today most organizations want the freedom to run applications in the place that makes the most sense, using hybrid and multi-cloud approaches based on open source software. An open infrastructure cloud facilitates fast innovation and reduces lock-in to a single cloud provider by giving organizations the choice and flexibility to build, migrate, and manage their applications across on-premises and multiple clouds.
Another
Let's take a moment to define two terms that are often confused: open standard and open source. Open standard refers to software that follows particular specifications that are openly accessible and usable by anyone. They have guidelines for software functionality, which help avoid vendor lock-in and ensure that the products that use these standards perform in an interoperable way. Examples of open standards are HTTP for requesting content on the web, or XML for storing structured data. Open source refers to software whose source code is are HTTP for requesting content on the web, or XML for storing structured data. Open source refers to software whose source code is publicly accessible and free for anyone to use, modify, and share. A decentralized community generally develops open source software as a public collaboration based on the philosophy of transparency and the open exchange of ideas. Open source plays a critical role in an open cloud to deliver customers the portability they expect. Google has a long history of sharing technology through open source, from projects like Kubernetes, which is now the industry standard in container interoperability in the cloud, to TensorFlow, a platform to help everyone develop and train machine learning models. Another way we provide flexibility is through hybrid and multi-cloud environments managed by products like Anthos, which is built on open technologies like Kubernetes, Istio, and Native. And finally, an open infrastructure embraces a partner ecosystem and the breadth of solutions it can offer its customers instead of competing with it. Collaboration helps transform how people connect, create, and collaborate. A transformation cloud isn't just about
um can have this. I can use this actually. So an open standard refers to a set of rules, criteria, specifications that are okay, that are openly available and can be used, adopted, implemented by anyone. It ensures that the different systems can work together and interpret interoperate seamlessly because they follow the same set of rules. Imagine playing a game, everybody agrees on the rules before starting. The rules are like an open standard. They make sure everyone plays this game the same way. Similarly, in technology, open standards are agreed upon rules. Okay, open source. Okay, I see. So open standard. is basically, yeah. So like, let's say in cricket, right? For example, we have leather ball, we have like the red one, we have white one season ball, then we have Costco. And bats are all also of different types, like mongoose, one from different companies and stuff like that. Things can be different, but whoever is playing and whoever is using whatever, it doesn't matter. The rules are same. That if it hits boundary, this is how you win, number of balls and stuff like that. And or like even language. I think people from different if they are communicating, doesn't matter where you are coming from, having a similar language with grammar and agreed upon rules of the language, like English, that's open standard. And open source is basically open source, which is software built with code available to everyone to improve and upon rules. And this is like making source code. Yeah. Okay. And let's just look at open. So let's see. Open infrastructure refers to way of setting up and maintaining the technology backbone of system services using open source software. So whether we are using our on-prem or Google uses our on-prem, and like let's say we are using Google Cloud, AWS, all are using open. We if we choose to use just open source and open standard, we are freely able to like shift things from one place to another. In easy words, think of building something cool like Treehouse. If you and your friend decide on common set of tools like hammer stuff, and it follows the same plan, you are using an open infrastructure. In technology, it's like in technology, it shared tools are open source, and a good plan is open standard to make sure everything connects and works together. Different system and service can seamlessly work together. Is a way of sharing tools, open source, and to build and manage. So yeah, like having on-prem, AWS, Amazon, if you are using open source and all, like, and using open standards, you are able to communicate. Like we are able, it doesn't matter if I'm on Windows, Mac, or anything, because everything uses HTTPS. It doesn't matter which cloud infrastructure, it will work. Yes, makes sense now. Let's just watch again, just to better understand. It's good to just have that idea.
Makes the most sense, using hybrid and multi-cloud approaches based on open source software. An open infrastructure cloud facilitates fast innovation and reduces lock-in to a single cloud provider by giving organizations the choice and flexibility to build, migrate, and manage their applications across on-premises and multiple clouds. Let's take a moment to define two terms that are often confused: open standard and open source. Open standard refers to software that follows particular specifications that are openly accessible and usable by anyone. They have guidelines for software functionality, which help avoid vendor lock-in and ensure that the products that use these standards perform in an interoperable way. Examples of open standards are HTTP for requesting content on the web, or XML for storing structured data. Open source refers to software whose source code is publicly accessible and free for anyone to use, modify, and share. A decentralized community generally develops open source software as a public collaboration based on the philosophy of transparency and the open exchange of ideas. Open source plays a critical role in an open cloud to deliver customers the portability they expect. Google has a long history of sharing technology through open source, from projects like Kubernetes, which is now the industry standard in container interoperability in the cloud, to TensorFlow, a platform to help everyone develop and train machine learning models. Another way we provide flexibility is through hybrid and multi-cloud environments managed by products like Anthos, which is built on open technologies like Kubernetes, Istio, and Native. And finally, an open infrastructure embraces a partner ecosystem and the breadth of solutions it can offer its customers instead of competing with it. Collaboration helps transform how people connect, create, and collaborate. A transformation cloud isn't just about technology. People and culture are just as important. Organizations have increased both location and time flexibility in work arrangements since the COVID-19 pandemic began, and hybrid work is here to stay. With the definition of the workplace forever changed, it's essential that information and frontline workers across regions and industries connect, create, and collaborate securely from anywhere and on any device. This new hybrid work environment needs to support a mix of in-person and remote interactions, including immersive digital and mobile experiences. At Google, for example, we offer a collaboration cloud through Google Workspace. Workspace brings together communication and collaboration.
Google Workspace is basically Microsoft Office um, with collaboration apps like Word, PowerPoint, and stuff. Google have Google Docs, Google Presentation, and Google Sheets.
Apps, including Gmail, Chat, Calendar, Drive, Docs, Sheets, and Meet, into a people-first experience powered by Google AI. A trusted cloud helps organizations protect what's important with advanced security tools. According to Cybersecurity Ventures, the annual cost of cybercrime is expected to reach $10.5 trillion annually by 2025. Due to the rise of cybersecurity threats, every company is rethinking its security posture. This means finding ways to identify and protect everything, from people and customers to data and transactions, in a fast-changing environment. Organizations see the cloud as more secure than on-premises, and they want to make it simple so that employees, customers, and contractors can safely access their services. They want to create better visibility to find, analyze, resist, and remediate threats at global scale, and benefit from cloud innovations while maintaining control of their digital assets. Finally, a transformation cloud is built on a sustainable foundation, using technology and solutions that help organizations build and work more sustainably. Today, organizations are now encouraged to help create a cleaner, more sustainable world, and they need new technologies that help them progress consistently. According to IDC, cloud computing is estimated to save 1 billion metric tons of CO2 emissions by 2024. The largest corporations have the opportunity to lead the way in helping the world reduce its emissions and operate on carbon-free energy always. For that reason, companies are moving to the cloud, and they want a sustainable infrastructure to power their business. At Google Cloud, for example, we partner with customers to decarbonize their digital apps and infrastructure with our sustainable technology and solutions. We proudly operate the cleanest cloud in the industry, with the smartest data centers that are 2 times as energy efficient as a typical enterprise data center. Moving to Google Cloud can dramatically decrease a customer's IT-related carbon footprint. So how can organizations approach their cloud journey? How can organizations approach their cloud journey? Moving to the cloud offers enormous benefits for transforming businesses, yet there are also risks. The challenge is multidimensional, with far-reaching implications for the solutions that will run in the cloud, and also for the technologies that support them, the people who must implement them, and the processes that govern them. The rubric of people, process, and technology is a familiar one. It forms the basis of the Google Cloud Adoption Framework, which was created to support customers on their cloud journey. The value of the Google Cloud Adoption Framework is that it serves as a map to help organizations adopt the cloud quickly and effectively by creating a comprehensive action plan for accelerating cloud adoption. It does this by structuring and aligning short-term tactical, mid-term strategic, and long-term transformational business objectives.
Okay.
It provides a solid assessment of where an organization is in its cloud journey and actionable programs that get it to where it wants to be.
This is like, I guess, very important if you're like one of those consultants who like to put digital transformation or like want to bring cloud and new technology to your organization. So this is a good consulting business idea because it might not be like a long time job for every organization, but so many are working towards it that if you master this adoption stuff, you can provide like consulting work with a good amount of money in a couple of months.
Cloud journey and actionable programs that get it to where it wants to be. A cloud maturity assessment helps to establish where an organization is currently regarding the cloud adoption themes recognized by Google Cloud. It can quickly reveal any areas where an organization might be weaker or underinvested. This is especially powerful if an organization was previously unaware of this lack of maturity. The Google Cloud Adoption Framework is more than just a model. It's also a map to real, tangible tasks that organizations need to adopt the cloud. How can organizations approach their cloud journey?
Okay, sorry.
Moving to the cloud offers enormous benefits for transforming businesses, yet there are also risks.
I see.
The Google Cloud Adoption Framework is more than just a model. It's also a map to real, tangible tasks that organizations need to adopt the cloud. After cloud maturity has been assessed and actions have been recommended, it's easy to scope and structure a cloud adoption program using the framework.
Just again, my thoughts, because even when people were
This
having a hard
brings us to
time,
the end of the first section.
even when people were having a hard time in 2008 and so many things, hardly anybody did anything, and that's, well, especially at a top level, nobody cared. Rather, there were bailouts to those people for buying yachts.
This brings us to the end of the first section of the Digital Transformation with Google Cloud course. Let's do a quick review of how cloud technology is transforming businesses. Digital transformation is more than lifting and shifting old IT infrastructure to the cloud for cost saving and convenience. As we look ahead, reinventing the future means changing not only where business is done, but how it is done. It requires maximizing the benefits of the cloud and building an environment that lets every person, process, and technology bring the highest level of innovation to the business. We already see tremendous success with leading organizations that embrace the transformation cloud, move their businesses well beyond infrastructure, and rapidly migrate toward the next era of their cloud evolution.
That's not helpful at all. Okay, let's just go back.
Rapidly migrate toward the next era of
Changing where and how business is done. So that's hybrid, hybrid and board cloud stuff, maximizing cloud benefits, building an environment of innovation. So using AI and all those, already see success with leading organization. Okay. There was just one summary. I thought there would be like much more summary and stuff.
This-
All good. Select the two capabilities that form the basis of transformation of cloud. Select two correct answers. Feel free to just pause it and answer here. I'll just read and answer it myself after reading all four. So, Data Cloud provides a unified solution to manage data across the entire data lifecycle. Sustainable cloud ensures the cost of cloud resources are controlled to prevent budget overrun. A trusted cloud gives control of all resources to user to ensure high availability at all times. Open structure gives the freedom to innovate by running applications in place that makes the most sense. Collaboration cloud ensures that the device in a user connects to will only work on corporate network. Okay. Basis of transformation cloud, right, is open infrastructure trust. So this won't like one of my habits of doing it is cancel the one that is literally not the answer. That's like one of my ways I used to prepare when I was in 12th grade. So collaboration cloud ensures device this is not The one, a trusted cloud give control. Okay. Sustainable cloud ensure cost of cloud resources. Transformation cloud. Data cloud provides a unified solution to manage data across entire life cycle. There are various other data related, so just not one unified solution. I'm not sure. A trusted cloud gives control, or open infrastructure gives freedom to innovate by running applications. Four, yeah, four is a good one. And I think it's the second one, sustainable cloud. What you guys think? Let me know. So four for sure. Sustainable cloud is my one. Trusted will give. I think it's two or three. One of these two, and it does not give control of all the resources to the user. Maybe I might be wrong, but sure. If you know the answer, feel or like if you think there is any other answer, I would be happy to change mine. One or two. Unified solution to manage data across the entire data lifecycle. Do you think when they say unified, they mean like, okay, just one place to find all the solution or just one solution to do everything? Because there is data lakes, there is data warehouse, there is SQL, Postgres, so much stuff. Let's do two. Let's do two for this one. Now let's go to select the definition of digital transformation. When an organization uses new digital technologies to create or modify technology infrastructure to focus on cost saving. Okay. Uh, when an organization uses new digital technologies to create or modify on-prem business processes, this is a good one. When an organization uses new digital technology, create, modify business process, culture, and customer experience. Okay, this covers this as well. When an organization uses new technology, create, modify financial models on how to run business. I will say this one because we did talk about like having a digital in the digital transformation. We need better culture. We need to improve our culture and make changes to the culture and processes. Specifically, culture is one of the most important thing everywhere, in my opinion. Um, especially in technology, we have a very open culture. Open source culture is the best thing, but like corporate culture in technology is like still needs to develop at a lot of places. Which item describes a goal? And hopefully you guys are happy with the answer for number two. You can let me know if what else you think. Which item describes a goal for an organization seeking digital transformation? Which item describes a goal? Break down data silos and generate real-time insights. This is a good goal. Streamline their hardware procurement process to forecast at least a quarter in future. This is like on demand, so this is literally no. Oh, wait, describe a goal. Yeah, I think this is a goal. This is different. Ensure data better security by decoupling teams and their data. No. Reduce emission by using faster networks in their on-prem workloads. This I think is clear, pretty clear. I think we are one for this one, right? Yeah, let's hopefully you guys are happy. Um, and I don't fail badly in this one, but that's fine. What is the cloud? A metaphor for networking capabilities of internet providers, a Google product for computing large amounts of data, a metaphor of network of data centers, a Google product made up of on-premise IT infrastructure. I think this is cloud is basically somebody else's computer. There is no other way to think, or like this is the best way to summarize. Cloud is somebody else's infrastructure or somebody else's computer. As the world and business changes, organizations have to decide between embracing new technology and transforming, or keeping their technology and approaches the same. What risks might an organization face by not transforming as their market evolves? This is a good example of that Nintendo video we did. Yeah, The Nintendo video we saw, where Nintendo has been continuously with like when in 1889 they started using uh, press, like printing press. They used cards, then to various this Nintendo 3DS and Super Nintendo, then to Pokemon Go and Nintendo Switch. So that's what it is right here. And so what organization will have issues, right? Who don't, like the encyclopedia one. Organization risk losing market leadership if they spend too much time on digital transformation. No, not transforming. Important, not transforming. Embrace new technology can embracing organization to overspend on innovation. Focusing on why they operate can lead to insufficient use of resources and disruption. Focusing on how they operate can prevent organization from seeing transformation opportunities. Yeah, how, oh, we are using printing press. If instead of like uh, how they operate, why we do this, because this is the best technology. How we do this, yeah. So how is basically the reason. How many are there? Nine? Okay. We are at six, so four more. What is the benefit of implementing a transformation cloud that is based on open infrastructure? Benefit, right? Open standard make it easier to hire more developers. Uh, On-premise software isn't open source, so cloud applications are more portable. Open source software reduces the chance of vendor lock-in. This is the biggest one. Oracle is the best example in this case because companies who have been using Oracle, they are like super badly locked in to Oracle Cloud, and it's very hard to find good developers for Oracle Cloud and like good documentation, Stack Overflow, stuff like that, compared to Amazon, Google, and all those guys. So vendor lock-in is the biggest one when it comes to open infrastructure where we are using open source and open standards. This one is also like open source make it easier to patent. No. What is seen as a limitation of on-prem infrastructure when compared to cloud infrastructure? Maintenance workers do not have physical access to the servers. No. Scaling processing is too difficult due to power consumption. Okay. On-prem networking is more complicated. On-prem hardware procurement process can take a long time. This is like the biggest limitation in my opinion because if you want to have a new data center, it will take months to a year almost, right? If you're in an organization, you want like a whole data center, you need to buy physical land. That takes a lot of time. Then setting up the data, like servers and cooling and networking, and then having people dedicated, make sure it's working, resilience and all those stuff. An organization has made make sure hopefully you guys are happy with this one. Let me know if any questions you think is like, okay, I did wrong. Would love to hear. An organization has made significant investments in their own infrastructure and has regulatory requirements for their data to be hosted on premise. Which cloud implementation will best suit their need? Significant investment in their own infrastructure has regulatory, so like HIPAA and all those kind of stuff, or like other requirements hosted on prem. So private cloud is their best choice because they have their own infrastructure. They have to have on prem data, so private is the only one. Um, this implementation just doesn't work. An organization has new okay. An organization has a new application and user subscriptions are growing faster than on-premises infrastructure can handle. What benefit of the cloud might help in this situation? It's scalable. So organization can shorter infrastructure deployment type. Yeah, like it's scalable. It provides physical access so the organization can deploy servers faster. No, should of cloud. It's cost efficient, so organization will no longer have to pay for computing once the app is on cloud. It's secure. So I think scalable, because there are benefits, but what we are looking for is things are working fast, growing fast, so we can scale to our cloud. 88%. Okay, we got sustainable. No, to get credit for multiple select, you must select all the correct ones. Okay, so our first one was not correct, only the first one. Okay, so I guess water streamer, right? I think you were right with the first one, so retake. Let's just see what are the other ones. I don't have to do them again. Breakdown, metaphor, focusing, open source, on-prem, private. Let's do your one, 1 and 4. They changed it. They changed the number. Has an application user growing faster, scalable. That's a select two capabilities from the basis of cloud transformation. We had data cloud provide unified solution. Yeah, let's get this one done. Two capabilities that form the basis. I think we talked about one was data unified, open and stuff infrastructure. I think that was this require collaborations. Yeah, so we talked about this. Which items are goal of organization? We talked about this streamlining their hardware procurement focus goal, reduce emission, break down data silos. Okay, ensure data. So this was the one, streamlining their data to get the real time insight. I cheated the payload to give the um, infrastructure significant investment. So it was private cloud. Side keeping what risk might be an organization face by not transforming as their market evolves. This was like how they operate can prevent, right? Like we were talking about Nintendo examples. Select the definition of transformation. It was culture and everything. We talked. What is the benefit of implementing transformation cloud that is based on open infrastructure? Vendor lock-in never happens. Data center. Senior limitation on on-prem. We talked about hardware one. Yeah, 100%. So you were right. Data unified was